welcome back to another video. So I wanted to kind of do like a sit down kind of chit chatty vlog where I just talk to you about what I thought of online schooling and going back to school, because I actually go back tomorrow. But I also wanted to share with you how I'm gonna do my back to school prep for tomorrow. But you know, I've done online schooling for 6 weeks and it's definitely had its pros and cons, and I've kind of liked it in some ways, and I've also, like, there's some things that I'm just excited to get back into school, and I'll share more of that with you a bit later. But I'm actually, like, right next to me, what you don't see is that I've got a huge stack of all my books that I have to go through and sort which ones I'm actually going to bring back to school and which ones I'm going to leave in my cupboard here, because I have some online books, so I'm not going to bring all of them back. Okay, so this is my massive stack of books. I have my planner, which obviously I'm going to bring. I have my 2 calculators, and I also have this massive pile of textbooks and exercise books, which is a bit heavy. So I'm just going to quickly go through this and take out all the sticky notes that I don't need anymore and adjust some of them around, and then I'll show you once I'm done. Okay, so I just took a quick minute to go ahead and sort out which books I actually want to bring and which books I don't want to bring. Of course, I'm going to bring my planner. This is like a must for me, because if not, then I have no idea what I'm doing sometimes, and like I won't remember all my work. And I have the textbooks that I am going to bring. I actually, at the start of the year, I put my name on the top of them so that I would know. And I think my bag's gonna be quite heavy, so I don't know if I'm actually gonna bring all my textbooks on the same day. I have this huge pile which I can barely lift up, to be honest. So this pile is the ones I am leaving at home because, yeah, it's just too heavy, and I have all those books online. And then I have all my exercise books for my different classes, as well as a folder I always bring with me everywhere, where all my handouts for my subjects are kept, and just, like, you know, spare pieces of paper. So that's basically me going back to school. Obviously, like, I already had everything. I just needed to clear them out of my cupboard, which sits right next to my table, and put them into my bag. Okay, so I just put my books in my bag, and obviously there are going to be more things that I put in my bag tomorrow morning, and these are things like, you know, my water bottle, my lunchbox, my computer, and I'm also going to put some masks and hand sanitizers in there later, because I think that's a must right now during this time. But I thought I might just jump into some of the pros and cons about online schooling, as well as share with you guys some productivity tips that has personally helped me, so I'm hoping it would help you guys as well. So some of the things that I do miss, that I am gonna miss about online schooling, are things like, you know, traveling time, because I don't need to travel. I just hop from my bed and then get ready and then go to my table. And you know, traveling to school for me takes around like 20 minutes to half an hour one way, so definitely a lot of time that is taken during the travel. But I'm also gonna miss, you know, wearing casual clothes and just not needing to worry about uniform. But then again, uniform is quite easy because you know what you're going to wear each day and you don't have to really think about it. But I am also excited to get back into the routine of school and just, you know, seeing my teachers face to face, because you know, right now it's hard to send them emails when you're unsure of things. So I would normally just go to one of my friends who is doing the same subject as me, or one of my friends who has done the subject and know, like, about the subject, and before going to my teacher, unless it's like a question I really need help with and only the teacher can answer. These would be things like group assignments and, you know, classwork. But I am excited to, you know, go back to school and be able to do group assignments that's not through just a computer, because, you know, I find that when you do it and you don't really have a good level of communication, things can happen. And like recently I was doing an assignment and there were 6 sections between 4 people, and the workload did not get evenly distributed, I would say, and just like you know, you kind of have to work as a group in some way to kind of negotiate what you guys are trying to do as a group, and that planning didn't go over very well, so I had to kind of cover things that was missed out. Yeah, those are just some things I am excited to get back into school with. But I recommend that, you know, working from home, if you guys like find yourself getting easily distracted or just moving away from your computer a lot, I would recommend just having everything you need in front of you. Like I have my pencil case that I do keep in the cupboard when I am doing online school, but I also have this pen cup that I just bought for like $2 or $3. Keep my books accessible by just having them in this drawer right here. But you know, having things right in front of you and ready to go is just really helpful and helps you get a great start in the day. I think I've just been like not really wanting to do any work and like sort of procrastinating today, just because I think it's just made me realize that, you know, I'm gonna go back into a routine soon, and you know, at school I'm not gonna have that flexibility of, you know, doing what I want and being able to change up my schedule maybe in the middle of the day, go exercise, because I can't do that when I'm at school. And like for the past few hours I've also like been trying to design some things and also draw. But I think if you remember from a few vlogs ago, I might have mentioned that I was working on a DIY, the names which I will cover, but I actually finished it. I think there's a total of around 25 or 26 letters in here, over these 2 bags. So it took me a while to get done, but I was able to complete it over this whole entire quarantine period, you know, lockdown. And these are definitely fun to make, but like I just realized that, you know, I don't have the time to do a lot of these anymore. Like, over 4 months, like I would say the time I spent on it was about a few weeks, but I finally got it done. A productivity tip I guess I would share with you guys that I have learnt about myself during this whole online schooling period is to know how long you focus for and take breaks accordingly. So for example, if you feel like you focus for about like 60 minutes or 45 minutes before you know, getting distracted with the things around you, I would recommend you setting a timer and maybe setting a goal of what you want to get done within that time frame, and you know, putting on that timer and just working, and then by the end of it you have a 5-minute break, maybe just to exercise for a bit, maybe grab a drink of water, or just move away from your desk and area a bit so you kind of can like clear your mind a little bit, maybe even take a walk. And it's honestly helped me get my work done a little bit quicker. But you know, I had a really heavy workload, or what I thought was really heavy, so it definitely helped in some way, but you know, I felt like I was still doing a lot of work each day. So that is one productivity tip I would like to share with you guys. Hopefully that helps you. So another productivity tip that I thought might help you guys is just to you know, write down everything you need to get done like in the day. You can do this either the day before, you can plan out your entire week, you know, whatever works for you. So what I have done is I have planned out my entire week of right now what my to-do list is. So this is my to-do list, and so is that. And you know, I just like, some things I know that I have to do every week that I need a reminder of, I will just write it. As you can see, there are some things already in my to-do list for like until the end of next month. So I kind of like to be organized, and because you know, I'm a boring person, I feel like, because I like a routine, and I think having a routine is just really important, especially in this time where everything's a bit like free-flowing and you don't really know, or you just don't know what day it is anymore, you know. I found that like waking up around the same time each day and just, you know, doing my work at around like the same times each day has really helped, and, you know, developing that normal routine, and, you know, trying to fix your sleep schedule, because I remember at the start of quarantine I was just like sleeping late, but also waking up quite late, like the time I would be at school. So I like kind of fixed it by just like waking up really early one morning and then going back to, and then like sleeping early that night. And, you know, you kind of develop a routine after a while, when you put it into practice for a few like weeks. So yeah, you know, writing everything you need to do is like, I think it's important because, you know, personally it's helped me know what my goals are for each day, but it's also really satisfying being able to like tick boxes, and it's fun as well, you know. And sometimes you just look back at what you need to do and it kind of triggers you and just reminds you to do other things as well. So overall, I am actually really excited to get back into school tomorrow, because I'm excited to see some of my teachers and my friends. And you know, tomorrow I actually love Tuesdays because it's the only day where I have all the classes that I love, which is 2 maths classes, accounting, and English language, which I'm not really a great English student, but my class is pretty great, so it's kind of good. And like one of my teachers just sent an email asking us how we want like things to go in the first week, whether we want to kind of just take a chill, what we kind of want to do in class, just to make our transition a bit easier, which has been nice. You know, obviously our teachers are like really understanding, and even though there are still a lot of assessments to be done within the last 4 weeks of this term that I have, they've just been really like understanding and really supporting. Okay, so right now it's 8 o'clock and I just spent like some time just watching TV, just, you know, cherishing a bit before I go back to school, and get into all those sorts of like, you know, back to normal in some way, I guess. But I'm super cold now, and, you know, Melbourne has now been really cold. I don't know if it's just me, honestly, but I felt so cold every single day, and I've like had to use heaters all the time. Okay, so just before I get ready for bed and actually go to bed, what I'm doing is I'm actually journaling. I like to do this like almost every day, because I don't do it every day. I used to when I started this like last year, but like sometimes I just forget and there's like a lot going on, so I don't, but it's like a way to, you know, kind of just write my thoughts out and just you know, write about how I'm feeling, and it's also fun to go back and look at some of the memories I've made over the past like almost a year, because I've been doing this for a while, like since August. I recommend that you guys should journal, because I think it's been really helpful, you know, when it feels like you have no one to talk to, or you just want to write something, or you just want to get things out of your system. It's really nice to just be able to write it down on a piece of paper. Even, you don't even have to write it in a book, you can just like, you know, write it on a piece of paper and like fold it up, or even rip it up if you wanted. But yeah, that's what I'm doing for tonight, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Hey guys, so I'm just back from school and I'm right now free. Obviously when I have gotten back, you know, after I finished school I had to go get an injection for like, it was a year 10 injection. I thought it would hurt a lot, but it didn't. I just felt a bit dizzy afterwards. That's what happens a lot of the time when I get an injection. And you know, it's a bit sore, but right now it's fine. And then I also had a meeting. So I just wanted to share some of my thoughts and, you know, what happened today at school. I actually had a good day today, you know, like the teachers were obviously really understanding, and they didn't like go straight into content again. Instead, what they did is kind of some revision activities of what we learned over remote learning, as well as, you know, I have a couple of assignments coming up, so we just did some revision for that. And you know, in one of my classes we also just covered more work because we have an assessment at the end of the term. But like in terms of like the social distancing changes, there wasn't really a lot. Obviously there are more people, students and teachers and like staff members wearing masks, but you know, that was just optional. If you wanted to, you could. If you didn't want to, you didn't have to. Obviously I had a mask and hand sanitizer in my bag, and in every class there are hand sanitizers and tissues, so they are always available for us to use. We also got told that, you know, sometimes when we have a question like that comes up in the middle of the day, we can usually just go to a teacher's office and just ask them what I need help with this question, or just, you know, go to the office just maybe to get some work back or something. But right now we aren't allowed to do that, and there are little changes such as you know, the desk around school can't be moved just for tracking purposes. The teacher can't come that close to us and have like you know, if we need help they would usually come to us, but instead we have to like raise our hand. Obviously we do that, but like instead of coming to us they would have to explain it on the board and, you know, keep that kind of distance away, just in case, like, you know, a student or a teacher needs to go home to care for an elderly person. The chances of them transmitting the virus will be lower. It was quite a chill day overall, and as expected, the students and like personally me as well were all really chatty, and the teachers kind of experienced that because, you know, it's exciting to like talk to your friends again, some maybe who you only talk to at school after 8 weeks, because we've been at home for 6 weeks, but we've also had 2 weeks of holiday. And this is honestly the longest I've been away from school, because our summer holidays are usually 6 weeks and they aren't as long as this. So, you know, interacting with people face to face again was exciting after 2 months of like, you know, staying at home. And right now what I am doing is I have my exercise book where all my notes are, and I have an assessment on Thursday for accounting. So I'm just gonna, because I'm kind of struggling with some of the, well, not struggling, but like I kind of need to remember some of the definitions that I haven't yet. So what I'm doing is I'm just gonna write like the definition or something on the face of a cue card, and then if I flip it over it will give me the answer, just like flashcards. I've just finished writing down what I wanted in my flashcards, and, you know, these were just mainly formulas and theory questions that I was like, I needed to remember, or things that go in an income statement or balance sheet, because that's what I'm learning about right now. So I've kind of categorized this into a few categories. So the first one, so all these ones here are formulas. So I've just written just written the formula. So this is the GST formula for the balance sheet, and this is like the loan formula, or like the accounts receivable formula and stuff like that. And what I've done is, so I've written what the thing is on the front, and on the other sides, you know, I've written kind of what the formula is like. So yeah, that's basically what I have done for those ones. Then I have questions that are kind of like, what's the definition of this, and you know, what of these items go into the income statement of the balance sheet. So I've written, like, for example, this one is revenue. So on one side there's the definition of revenue, and what this is what stuff has to be categorized into to fall under revenue, and what in the income statement could be revenue. And I did the same thing for expenses, just the definition on one side and what is in it on the other. But I also decided to write what is in the balance sheet. And so, you know, obviously if you've seen a balance sheet, assets get split on one side and liabilities and owner's equity get split on the other. So I've kind of written things that could go in those categories. And then for the last bit, I have theory questions, and, you know, like 3-mark questions that you would answer, like how does a bank, how do they earn a net profit besides suffering a decrease in their cash position. And so I've written ways that could happen, as well as like a sample explanation that I could just totally remember and copy into my test. So I've done the same thing for that. and like so, yeah. So on one side, like for example, this one is ways to increase profit, and then I can just remember these main points and then form it into a paragraph. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, and that's a little bit of accounting for you guys and what I'm learning in accounting right now. So yeah, my test is on Thursday, and you know, writing these, I'm definitely a bit more confident with the knowledge and all the formulas and things like that. They're kind of into my brain, especially after I did revision today. In accounting today, I actually did some revision, and we were having timed conditions to do it, and I was so excited after because the maths brain in me that is constantly working realized that my balance sheet finally balanced, and this had happened on the first go, and that's usually never happens for me, so it was an exciting moment. And yeah, it was really fun today. All my classes were actually really fun today, but I do hope that you guys could get something useful out of this video, whether it be from the productivity tips that I shared or a way that I have studied and that helps, you know, for upcoming tests, exams, stuff like that. And I hope that you also were able to kind of experience what I thought of online learning and how it was going back to school, even though it was pretty brief, my kind of explanations. And if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!